Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. Give me one quick moment. Okay. All right. So, what are we doing tonight? Well, we've largely gotten away from a lot of the things that made the channel, and a lot of the things that I cover because there's been so much news and so much bullshit in the news. So, we're going to do like a day show topic at the night show topic. So yeah, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Uh, one of my guests asked when I was going to be doing this again. Um, so I thought it was important to kind of go back there. So, right. So we will get into it tonight. We are going to be covering. Hang on, I'm just going to bring that up, but it's noisy. In the background. Tonight we're going to be covering some of the historic firsts in spaceflight that are going to take place, hopefully in the very near future. It's always a gamble. We never know for sure, but there's some fun and interesting things coming up. So things I'm excited about. So things that we should maybe look into. So first we'll be starting with the Artemis program. As many of you know, they just named their crew 2 astronauts. The first ones that will be aboard the Artemis rocket, because the first one was an unmanned mission. Unpeopled mission? Unbridled mission? I don't know. On something mission. So we'll be taking a look at that. We'll also be taking a look at the Starship launch that's imminent, orbital test flight. And then I guess maybe talk about Boeing and their Starliner. For those of you who don't know, I have a strong dislike for the company of Boeing. Some would say it's a deep hatred. I wouldn't, but some would say it. So that's what we're going to get stuck into tonight. So hopefully you enjoy. And let's get into it. Let's say hi to everybody and get into it. Lovely Impish. Hello. Oh, I got to bring it up so I can pin the link. Pin. All right. Xcoma, what's up, buddy? Maybe. Starship is imminent. And the other ones are, we'll see. Big Giant Fuck, what's up, buddy? You can't tell me what to do. I can, buddy. I have a timeout button. Talking back and forth. Back and forth. Linda, good to see you. I was on time. I was actually early. I clicked the button early today. Sean, what's up, buddy? Yes. Yes, always. What's up, Libby? What's up, Steve? We'll also be, because why the hell not? We'll build the Artemis rocket, the SLS, in Kerbal Space Program and launch it to the moon. So, see, I can show up on time every once in a while. What's up, Mimi? So there's a thing behind it. So it was from a short that was making the Restrict Act, my picture. And those are handcuffs, and that's a gag. Yes, I have both of them readily available. What's up, Greedy? Yes, you just realized. Okay, still behind. That was an old clip you saw. You only commented on footage. I will have to look because I haven't seen anything, but I have been largely out of the space community loop. I would have, I feel like I would have heard of it, but we'll get a bigger ship. Strip was, they're making another 2 or 10 meters. Holy shit. And we need to add 3 more vacuum Raptor engines because it's inevitable. Wow. Holy shit. That's something I didn't know about. So we'll bring that up. It's going to make it another 10 meters tall. That's 30 feet for America and freedom units. Just a second. 6 hours. See, I'm not seeing anything. Starts at preparing for launch on April 6th. Ready to launch next week, pending regulatory approval. So, yes, it has not gone. We're still waiting on the FAA and some other regulatory agencies that are. Sorry, I. All right. I'll stop laughing behind your back and show you some of this stuff in a second here. But I definitely wanted to get started with the other program. So the NASA program. I guess we could start with this picture because it's funny. And why not? Shit. And then I got all sidetracked. Damn it. All right. Let's get back to saying hi to everybody. Yes, to the moon. Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, good to see you, Jude. Yes, please. We're going. 384, I think. Last check. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So tomorrow, so there's, if Elon says the 17th, then I would say, based on history, I would say no earlier than the 20th, which would also fit Elon's sense of humor because it's 420. All right. I agree. XCOM, I knew there was a reason I loved you. I really hate Boeing. Really hate Boeing. Yeah, that's actually the one that I was there for, Impish. The one you sent me. Uh one of the ones. That's 15. So SM-15. So that was a while ago. I'm not pro Boeing or anything. I'm just really curious. Uh, uh, I'm not getting into that. Just know, unlike many things that I do, I actually have a sound reason for hating Boeing. Like most of the things I just hate to hate. Boeing, there's actually a reason behind it. So, back to the. What's up, Isabel? No, you're totally fine. I'm behind. I was behind, so. I'll have to do it myself. I'm the only person. Well, I don't like Lockheed either, but I really hate Boeing. We'll talk later, buddy. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Elon's humor. There we go. Elon retweeted this saying, "I'm half Canadian." Canadian space program from South Park, Terrence and Phillip. Do you get it? That's funny. I'm 100% sure Elon's an alien. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy Easter to all of you that celebrate it, and to Sleazy. Why you gotta hate Jesus, brother? Huh? I was just waiting for your response, but obviously you have none. So we'll move on. Canadians are great people, Isabel. I'm not gonna make that joke this early, please. I don't doubt it, because Sleazy has this infatuation with something that he can't have. So he wants to not be a Jew, but he is. So waiting on you for a comeback again. Yep, like I said, nothing. All right. So let's get into the NASA Artemis program. So Happy Combat Rifle Day. Is it really? Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's your guys' fault. It's all your guys' fault. You brought up a exploding starship, and then I got to, oh, let me look. Then I saw a funny picture, and then Cece kind of talk shit. Like, so let's get stuck into it. Here is from NASA their brief video explaining Artemis 2, and then we'll get more into it. So that's NASA's quick PSA on the Artemis program. So they are going to be doing a 10-day mission to the moon. We'll look at the Artemis map here. So this is the flight profile. They are going to leave Earth. They are going to enter an orbital. They're then going to raise their apogee and break that orbital. Then they're going to come around the Earth and then almost figure eight across the moon, because you have to think that this is it's moving back and forth, back and forth. So there's a lot of movement to account for here. So we can see they launched from 39B at Kennedy Space Center. Jettison solid rocket boosters, or the SRBs. Those are the white things on the side. Core stage MECO. So they're going to cut off the 4 RS-25 core stage engines. Then they're going to perigee to raise their orbital. And we're going to come around the back. And then, like I said, apogee to raise again. They are going to separate Orion over at 6. So Orion is going to separate. Orion is the capsule that will carry the astronauts themselves. And the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. So that's the second stage of this particular launch vehicle. Orion's upper stage separation burn happens at 7. Perigee raise burn, so we're raising the other side. Translunar injection by Orion's main engine. So the Orion spacecraft will be in control of everything from this point forward. From about the 7, around the 7. Then they're going to do outbound transit and then come back around the moon, use the moon's gravity to assist it back to Earth. They're going to do a close lunar flyby and then use the free return trajectory to perform a trans-Earth injection return. At that point, the actual will be on course to land back in the Gulf of Mexico, or hopefully pretty close. The Orion capsule will separate from the propulsion stage. They'll turn it around, and it will come in and splash down in the Gulf of Mexico. Oops, I just... Yes, they do. Well, Jeff Bezos did. All right, see you in a minute. I hope they will live stream it, except when on the back of the moon. I don't know how much they're going to live stream of it. They'll of course stream the launch. I think that's a given that they'll live stream the launch. Beyond that, I wouldn't expect them to live stream a lot of it, because it is, I mean, this is a NASA program. This isn't a SpaceX program. So to say that they're going to be overly transparent about things is I don't know about that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, they have a very heavy amount of shielding on the Orion capsule. There's also dissipation in the spacesuits. So there is a multi-tiered approach to it. NASA broadcast most of it. Yeah, but they do. I don't know that they're going to broadcast most of this flight. They broadcasted a lot of Artemis 1, um, which is kind of the dry run uh, of this without people. But I'm not entirely sure they're going to. It isn't going to be like a SpaceX broadcast. So, oh yeah, yeah, it isn't going to be where they're. Um, I hope that SpaceX put a lot of pressure on them to be able to start being more transparent with it. But I mean, after launch, I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know. Um, of course, so we're going to meet the crew a little bit. Uh, does anybody want to listen to Kamala Harris talk to the astronauts? Just a quick yes or no. First answer I see. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? No. Perfect. There is no goddamn firmament. God no, God no, God no. Oh, wait. Shit. I should have said whoever sends a Romo rant will get their answer. No, I'm just playing. I didn't want to watch it either. Oh, P Beaver, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Can't say okay. Do, 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 do. Thank you, Beaver. Thanks thanks for hanging out. Okay, so one of the things that I obviously don't like about this, and then we'll watch because NASA shouldn't strike me for shit because it's government tax dollars that pay for it. Um, but uh, we'll watch the astronauts. See if you can notice anything, guys.
I'm Christina Cook. I'm a mission specialist.
I'm Jeremy Hansen. I'm a mission specialist.
I'm Victor Glover. I'm the pilot.
I'm Reed Wiseman. I'm the commander for the Artemis 2 mission to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
When I was young, I had a poster of the Earthrise picture, the famous picture that was taken on Apollo 8. And the fact that it was a human behind the lens that made that picture so profound and changed how we all thought of our own home was so amazing to me. The moon is not just a symbol of thinking about our place in the universe. It's not just a symbol of exploration. It's actually a beacon for science. It's a beacon for understanding where we came from.
You know, pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. It's a part of being a human. That's our nature. We go out there and we explore to learn about where we are, why we are, understanding the big questions about our place in the universe. The exploration we're doing is the first few steps on the path of getting humans to Mars.
What did we notice, fam? Besides the lady's face, that's mean. She can't help it that she looks like that. Aliens have shape-shifting penises. Good, good. I'm glad we got the Disney woke crew. Thank you, Sean. You got it. We have a gay, a woman, an African American gentleman, and a Canadian. So, yes, NASA terribly designed suits. I think they pulled the ones out of the 1950s and said, we'll just make them a different color and they'll be fine, right? And those aren't even crotch armor. Crotch armor is because of the radiation. So they have to somehow counteract the radiation. And fertility, because the only way you get more astronauts is if you have a mommy astronaut and a daddy astronaut. The Canadians can do. Hang on. I'll show you because the surface ones are even worse. Those are the flight suits. The surface ones are terrible. Damn it. Screw you, New X Times. So these are the surface suits. Just horrible. I mean, look at that thing. And it's bulky and it has this center turn thingy. Like, oh, is this the... Damn it. Actually, it'd be all white, but Axiom Space showed off its... Yeah, okay. So they're even worse than that because they're all white. This is Axiom Space making them prettier. But they have this weird turny thingy in the middle. And they're massive suits. They have the lights on them, and it seems kind of overkill. So apparently they're good for whatever. So whatever. Oops. Go back to this one. Well, weight isn't a big deal, but bulk is. No, stop. That doesn't exist anymore. They do look like a death trap. So one of the early plans was, because one of the early plans was make them kind of drop, like, go down this ladder on space, and I'm like, they're gonna die. That's all right. Let's see if they have a good. If Artemis has a good illustration. We're going to the moon. Blah blah blah. Human landing system. Solutions for managing dust cloud. SpaceX does have one contract, but they don't have a second contract. So it's weird. It's weird how they're doing it. So SpaceX will have one, but doesn't fit with HLS and yeah, I don't know. So that's the politics behind it. We're not getting into that, but I'm trying to find a good video that illustrates how they're going to do it. Because I can explain it, but it would be better if you saw it. What is me? Not me. Shit, Seeker's gonna fucking strike me. Oh, here's NASA. 100% know how it happens. Oh, fuck it. We'll watch it. All right. Again, this is NASA program, so that I shouldn't get struck.
Between 1968 and 1972, America launched 9 human missions to the moon, 6 of which successfully touched down, allowing 12 men to walk on the lunar surface. NASA's next chapter
X'd it
of
out.
lunar exploration, called Artemis, has the task of not just going to the moon to create a long-term human presence on and around it, but also to prepare for ever more complex human missions to Mars. In short, everything we must be able to do here, we must first do here. So, what will an Artemis mission look like? Everything is designed and tested with our most important element in mind, the astronauts. This is their deep space, human-rated spacecraft called Orion, built in 3 parts. The crew module, where up to 4 astronauts will live and work throughout the flight. The service module, with life support systems for the crew and its own engine and fuel reserves. And a launch abort system, with engines capable of pulling the crew module to safety during launch should anything go wrong. To accomplish the task of launching our crew and heavy payloads, NASA is building the Space Launch System, comprising of a cargo hold, an exploration upper stage, a massive core stage, and 2 extended solid rocket boosters. Altogether, this is the world's most powerful rocket, and it exceeds the legendary Saturn V of the Apollo era in numerous ways. Sitting on the launch pad, the entire rocket, fully fueled, weighs just over 6 million pounds, 5.2 million of which is just the fuel. Once ignited, there is no stopping what comes next. All 4 RS-25 engines and the 2 solid rocket boosters come to life, thundering our crew upwards. 2 minutes after ignition, the solid rocket boosters are spent and released. 8 minutes after launch, the core stage is depleted and separated. The upper stage fires briefly, placing Orion into a parking orbit around the Earth. Here, the crew reconfigure the spacecraft and check systems to confirm everything is ready for deep space travel. With a go from mission control, the crew reignite the exploration upper stage engines to leave Earth entirely. The exact timing of this maneuver is critical to reach a speed that can escape Earth's gravitational pull, but also put Orion on a course that will intersect the moon days later. Once this burn is complete, the upper stage of the SLS is jettisoned and the crew aboard Orion coast for several days toward all that awaits them at the moon. Approaching the moon, we see the fundamental differences between Artemis and Apollo. Instead of requiring Orion to serve as an expendable lunar command module or to carry a constrained lunar lander, the Artemis missions will take advantage of a different approach: pre-staging. Everything needed for lunar missions will be positioned in advance by commercial and international partners. This includes rovers, science experiments, and human-rated systems on the surface. But it also includes a dedicated lunar station in orbit around the moon called Gateway. Here at this station, we can pre-stage a robust lunar lander and establish a strong communications relay. Designed with open standards, the Gateway can be expanded as new missions and partnerships develop, allowing multiple human missions on the moon at the same time and enabling ongoing science to be conducted even between human missions. The Gateway is also capable of adjusting its orbit to allow access to every part of the moon, something the Apollo missions could not do. But the real key in this approach is placing Gateway in a unique halo orbit to perfect the maneuvers needed for Mars missions. And with the growing list of commercial and international opportunities, Gateway is the ideal hub between Earth and all that lies beyond. Returning to our crew as they approach Gateway, the Orion must match the elliptical orbit of the station in order to successfully dock. Once on board, pre-selected crew members transfer to the lunar lander, while those assigned to Gateway remain on station. The lunar lander system itself is built for 3 unique steps. descending from the halo orbit of Gateway down to a low lunar orbit, descending from low lunar orbit to the surface, and once the lunar mission is complete, launching from the surface of the moon and ascending all the way back to the orbiting Gateway. Once back aboard the Orion spacecraft and undocked from Gateway, the crew fire their engine once to break out of the halo orbit and once again to sling the spacecraft around the moon, placing it on a multi-day trajectory back towards Earth. As they near the end of this journey, the service module is released, and the crew module is oriented heat shield first. Entering Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, the friction of air slows Orion considerably, while also subjecting it to temperatures of 5,000 degrees. With the Orion now at just 300 miles per hour, a series of parachutes uniquely tested and produced for this moment deploy, decelerating the craft to just 20 miles per hour for splashdown. With each successful mission, Artemis ushers in the next wave of men and women to explore our moon and prove that together we are ready to go beyond.
Okay, so that's NASA explaining how we're gonna do
Between
shit.
nine-
That's NASA explaining it. So you have a bunch of different parts and pieces. Now, the problem with NASA is part of their contract, and to keep getting money from Congress, there has to be contracts from across industry, across the entire United States. And now that's changed to the world. So we have the Orion spacecraft that actually has several different manufacturers. We also have the SLS, or the Space Launch System, that has way too many manufacturers. Exploration Ground System, so they're all going to be different. You're going to have different manufacturers for every experiment, or every vehicle that's taken to the moon. And that gets messy, because when you're passing it off and having that much back and forth, information gets lost. People are already in the mindset that, hell, we can blame it on this guy or that guy. And Boeing's great at that. So NASA's a problem because of the way that they do things, and the fact that they're fucking stuck in the 1950s. But so you have all these different systems and thoughts and places working together, and you have some of the cronyism, of course. For example, the Boeing Starliner hasn't even had a successful flight yet, but it's ahead in the considerations over something like a SpaceX craft. Not usually. Every once in a while, there's nothing there to drag the stuff down. So when it's in a parking orbit, once it's in an orbit that is it stays in that orbit until another force acts upon it. So they do a pretty good job keeping it up. Some of them do fall back down, and they burn up. It takes a lot to get through that. So my dad all falls down. What? Yes, orbit is perpetual falling, but it's going fast enough, and it's not encountering enough to bring it back down. So it's perpetual falling upon a horizon. So you're just going fast enough to counteract the falling. So that's the problem. But generally, there's a lot of space junk that's that's still up there. So you can't blame Boeing for that, though. Blame retarded politicians. That's the reason we have the F-35. They picked it over other option because it looks cool. Yeah, well, yeah. No, Snafu. Stop fucking spamming that. I do play Kerbal. I'm gonna play Kerbal in a minute here. Well, it doesn't. But okay, so I'm not gonna get heavily into orbital mechanics because it's incredibly complex. Garbage didn't, but whatever put it in that orbit did. So whatever brought it up to speeds of 17, 18, 20, 15, whatever thousands of kilometers an hour it reached. That's their parking orbit. And if there's nothing to interact on it, it's going to continue to go that speed. The difference with the 25 tons of Chinese rocket debris is because it was never in a stable orbit. It was in an insertion orbit to just insert it and to a synchronous orbit. And the Chinese rocket came back because, and why it was concerning is because it was 25 fucking tons. And most of the time, you deorbit them so they burn up, or you can orient them to where you can do different things with them. So the Chinese just don't give a damn. And I think I might think everyone's a commie. Exactly. It's okay until orbital decay, some other force. So, like I said, we can go over orbital mechanics at some other point. I'm just not going to. Damn it, Greedy, shut up. Who in the hell are you even talking about? Sean, I have no idea who you're talking about. Who the hell are you talking about? Fill me in. Yes, they don't give a damn because China number one. But.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Oh, you're fighting with him. All right, never mind. No, Greedy's just a shitster trying to pick at me. So anyways, we have Lunar Gateway, we have the Human Landing System, and we have Artemis Base Camp. So all these are made by different manufacturers with different parts from across the country, and international. So mistakes happen. When you get that many parts together. All right, so let's get into the crew. So Reed Wiseman is our commander. He's a flight engineer. He was aboard the International Space Station for Expedition 41 for 165 days. So that's a long time. Spent hundreds of hours conducting valuable scientific research in areas such as human psychology, medicine, physical science, earth science, and astrophysics. He completed a record 82 hours of research in a single week. Wiseman also fostered strong social media presence throughout his mission by sharing photos, personal tweets, and short videos about life aboard the station. This was Wiseman's first spaceflight, which also included almost 13 hours of spacewalking. He served as the chief of the astronaut office. Wiseman has been assigned as commander of NASA's Artemis II mission. "100%. Well, none of these individuals are going to. This is only a 10-day mission, so to get on the moon, we either have to trust SpaceX and do it that way, or we're going to have to wait probably another 10 years, maybe. Because this is just going to be a 10-day mission, just running that pattern. Nobody's going to set foot on the moon. Nobody's even going to come close to it. Oh, shit. I'll look at it. Sorry, buddy. So then we have, so none of these are going to even come close to the moon. They're going to fly by the moon and return back. It's only a 10-day trip. So Victor J. Glover was selected as an astronaut in 2013 while serving as a legislative fellow in the United States Senate. He most recently served as a pilot and second in command on Crew 1, SpaceX Crew Dragon, named Resilience, which landed May 2nd, 2021. It is the first post-certification mission of SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft, the second crewed flight for the vehicle, and a long-duration mission aboard the International Space Station. He served as flight engineer on the International Space Station for Expedition 64. Glover has been assigned as pilot of NASA's Artemis II mission. Apparently, Johnson Space Center lost power. So that's this individual. He's flown before as well. They will be an IRL version of a reality show where they trick poor people. They were going to the moon. Only thing. Yep. Well, it's going to be a whammon. Hang on one second. So this gentleman's flown before as well on a SpaceX Crew Dragon. So he's going up pretty quick though. 2 years. Probably. I hope so, because I'm on that one too. What's up, Jacob? Our third crew member is Christina Hammett-Koch, mission specialist. Christina Hammett-Koch was selected as NASA astronaut in 2013. And even though you're selected as astronaut, you may not ever fly. That chance is becoming more and more possible now. But many people have been selected as astronauts and never flown. So, as a flight engineer on the International Space Station for Expedition 59, 60, and 61. So she's been up 3 times. Koch set a record for the longest single space flight by a woman with a total of 328 days in space. And participated in the first all-female spacewalks. Koch has been assigned as Mission Specialist 1 of Artemis's 2 mission, NASA's Artemis 2 mission. Oh no. Uh Potentially. I don't know that 100% for sure, but potentially. All right. And our last individual is the Canuck. What is wrong? He's very very Canuckistan. Biography of Jeremy Hansen from the Government du Canada. CSA astronaut Jeremy Hansen will fly to the moon on the Artemis 2 mission. The first fluid flight test of the Orion spacecraft launch on the SLS rocket. He'll become the first Canadian to ever venture to the moon. Yeah, that would have been a good one. Yeah, but like fake. He's like fake overly Chad looking. Plus he's Canadian, so there's no way in hell he can be a Chad. That's something I would bet on. Over under on how many times he says sorry. We'll set the line. It's a 10-day mission, so let's just set the line at an even 1,000. Yep. Well, I would too, but January 27, 1976, from London, Ontario. He's a fighter pilot with a Bachelor of Science in Space Science, Master of Science Physics, alien transport pilot license, languages English, French, basic knowledge of Russian. Oh, I don't give a shit about all this. Wonderful. I gotta hear what he sounds like.
I was born and raised on a farm in southern Ontario near London, and I can't recall a period of my life when I didn't want to be an astronaut. For as long as I can remember, I was fascinated by space exploration. I looked at a photograph of Neil Armstrong standing on the moon, and I wanted to see what it would be like to leave this planet and look at it from beyond. My recollection growing up is not that I was the cool kid in school. I was more, you would call me a nerd, probably interested in science and technology.
His lingo.
I was very fortunate to have a lot of people in my court, if you will, my parents and school teachers, for example. A lot of people were encouraging me and telling me that as a Canadian, Jeremy, you have some great opportunities. For example, at the age of 12, my father told me about the Air Cadet program. Those were amazing opportunities that had a significant impact on my career. When I left high school and started my academic pursuits at the Royal Military College in Kingston,
Yeah, screw that. I don't care to listen to him. I just wanted to see how many times he said about, and it's none. It's none. That's disappointing. So that is Artemis 2 and mission team. Of course, they're doing all these. We watched that, I believe. They're doing all these lovely photo ops. So, because the press tour is part of it, but so that's the NASA part of the program. I would like to see, these are my favorite pictures, and they do them with everyone where they're lined up, they have the destination, and then they have the spacecraft. I think that's a cool picture. I actually streamed Artemis 1, but we'll watch. Yeah, he's not. Okay.
I'm gonna come.
I did. It is. It's a shit rocket. Uh Here, we'll watch Path to Pad of Artemis. So this is the first one. It's like 14 minutes, and it shows the whole process. So
that Kennedy said was, we choose to go to the moon and do other things, not because it's easy, but because it's hard.
The cost of failure is much higher than the cost of scrubbing. We have an obligation to get this right.
This is a whole new vehicle, a whole new technology, a whole new purpose of going back to the moon in preparation to go to Mars. And yes, it's hard.
The countdown
Take
to
care,
T
Just Cause.
0 starts approximately
Be
2
safe.
days before launch. Teams inside the Launch Control Center have been working around the clock, powering up each section of the rocket and configuring the launch pad to support the 8.8 million pounds of thrust our moon rocket will generate at liftoff.
It is a new creation. It is a new rocket and a new spacecraft to send humans to the moon on the very next flight.
Today, we make history. With the launch of the most powerful rocket the world has ever seen, we are taking the first step in humanity's return to the moon.
I can tell you there's an energy and there's an excitement around the Kennedy Space Center, I would say, across the agency and all around the Space Coast as we get closer and closer to this launch.
This mission will validate that the rocket and capsule do perform as expected before future Artemis missions send astronauts to the lunar surface.
We have worked really hard to get here. The team has done an absolutely outstanding job, and we're up to the challenge, and I'm really looking forward to a successful test flight.
You are looking at the
Have a
world's
great
most
night,
powerful
Libby.
rocket and
Good to see you
Orion
again, buddy.
spacecraft live on Launch Pad 39B. Artemis 1 embodies the hard work of thousands across the world determined to explore for the benefit of all. I'm Megan Cruz, and this is NASA astronaut Kayla Barron.
When I first walked up and saw the view from the desk here, I was just blown away.
This is the moment when it comes to the countdown, and then tension starts, and well, let's cross fingers, everything works well. Tension is rising, and we are fully excited here.
Over the past few years, teams have put in thousands of hours, performing simulations and rehearsals to ensure that they are ready for this moment.
As our 0 hour approaches for the Artemis generation, we do have a heightened sense of anticipation, and there's definitely excitement amongst the team members. We've noticed just the overall mood and focus within the team is definitely a positive one.
Now, with all systems configured correctly, the launch director gives the final go for liftoff.
On behalf of all the men and women across our great nation who have worked to bring this hardware together to make this day possible, and for the Artemis generation, this is for you. At this time, I give you a go to resume count and launch Artemis 1.
This mission goes with a lot of hopes and dreams of a lot of people. It's no longer the Apollo generation. It's the Artemis generation. That brings a whole new world of discoveries.
T-minus 50 seconds and counting. The Space Launch System is now counting down to liftoff of Orion on its maiden voyage to the moon. And here we go.
10.
Hydrogen burn-off igniters initiate. 7, 6, 5. 4-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where we just watched Artemis 1 launch, our first step towards our next adventure into deep space.
With Orion off the ground, Mission Control in Houston takes the reins. Our nation is returning to the moon.
And we have worked hard as a team. You guys have worked hard as a team for this moment. This is your moment. It is not by chance that you are here today. So I want you to look around at this team and know that you have earned it. You have earned your place in the room. You've earned this moment. You have earned your place in history.
The successful launch of SLS is just the beginning. Orion will spend the next several weeks journeying around the moon, sending flight data back to teams here on Earth for real-time analysis. During its mission, Orion reached speeds traveling about 30 times as fast as the speed of sound.
This dramatic video of the Earth-Moon transit that took place showed and punctuated the fact that we were pressing away from our home planet to a distance of some 268,000 miles away from Earth, further than any human-rated spacecraft had ever traveled, for a spacecraft designed to return humans to Earth, eclipsing the mark set by the Apollo 13 vehicle back in 1970.
After several weeks of flight, it was time for Orion to return home.
A half-century later, NASA's newest moon explorer, the Orion spacecraft, is barreling its way back home after circumnavigating the moon and beyond in an elliptical distant retrograde orbit. Now less than 2 hours away from splashing down in the Pacific Ocean west of Baja, California, to complete its shakedown mission.
Like the Apollo missions of the past, Orion will have to endure incredibly high temperatures during re-entry of Earth's atmosphere.
A journey that began with the power of the launch of the Space Launch System 25 and a half days ago, about to reach its final minutes in the searing heat of re-entry, where temperatures around Orion will build up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
While re-entering Earth's atmosphere, the spacecraft slowed to about 300 miles per hour. As it continued its descent, Orion's parachute system, containing 11 total parachutes, deployed once it reached approximately 9,000 feet and a speed of about 130 miles per hour.
And there it is, high over the Pacific, America's new ticket to ride to the moon and beyond now in view. Orion under its chutes descending towards splashdown.
These parachutes help slow the crew module to a much more manageable speed, roughly 20 miles per hour, for a water landing off the coast of California.
Splashdown. From Tranquility Base to Taurus Littrow to the tranquil waters of the Pacific, the latest chapter of NASA's journey to the moon comes to a close. Orion, back on Earth.
We've got a perfect view, a front row seat to the Orion splashdown. It's simply beautiful out here. That is a human-rated capsule that went around the moon and returned and is now in the Pacific Ocean.
I think I can speak for the whole dive team that we're honored to be part of history and to be part of something so monumentous, and just ready and excited to go out and do this.
When Orion was deemed safe to approach, team members jumped into the water and attached hardware that steadied the capsule.
What we do at NASA really is all about collaborations, and the collaborations that we've had with the Department of Defense in particular over the past many years, their hard work and their dedication as they went through a great deal of planning, hardware development and processes, and a lot of practicing to get to this point and make it look easy.
And that team, made of a combination of NASA and Department of Defense personnel, has put in years of work to make sure that they were ready.
Melissa Jones, the recovery director, just came from outside the ship's control center, where she was monitoring and, of course, managing her team in the midst of this recovery. So, Melissa, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming. We've been working this mission for a while, and we've done a ton of training. And every time you do training with a mock-up capsule, you don't have any of that. You don't have parachutes. You don't, hear it coming back to the atmosphere, the sonic booms and all of that kind of stuff. And today that actually happened. It's just amazing.
This mission, this spacecraft and this team exceeded all expectations. For the last 25 and a half days, we've been every day looking ahead to the next flight to see how we can improve on where we are today so that we can fly a safe and successful mission with our astronauts next time around.
Once stabilized, the team secured the spacecraft with hardware and rope assemblies and towed it to the Navy ship. The dive team then connected Orion to a series of ropes from inside the back of the ship, known as the well deck, to safely and securely pull the capsule inside. With Orion safely secured inside the ship, teams made their way to Naval Base San Diego, where the capsule was offloaded and prepped for its cross-country trip back to its home base, Kennedy Space Center.
This is really the start of a campaign of several missions to get humans back to the moon and beyond to Mars. So there's still a lot to be done, and this is just the beginning.
Kennedy just stunned everybody with the Apollo generation.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out.
And said that we were going to achieve what we thought was impossible.
Of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
many things have happened since, but we knew we were going back. This is the program of going back to the moon to learn, to live, to invent, to create in order to explore beyond. Oh, it's a new day. A new day has dawned, and Artemis generation is taking us there.
Okay, so that's NASA's video of what's going on. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of literally chatted with GF and dozens of streams, some stuff. GF, who's GF? Oh, glitter? I don't know. Hey Nancy, I saw your comment. That's really neat. The space program is one of my favorites. So oh, I got you, man. Oh, hey Kaiser. All right, so as promised, I'm going to poorly build Orion and Artemis. So we start this Kerbal Space Program. It's fantastic. And I'm going to do this as quick as possible. Oh, I haven't played in a while because I was waiting for the second one, and the second one's not where it needs to be yet, which is not uncommon for a Kerbal Space Program. But where the hell is... Did they... Oh, they might have added a new set to it anyways. Shit. Did they add new stuff to it? Command, it's not command and control. Sure. That's not the right one, is it? Nope. So this is a program, it's a game that builds spacecraft and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. So we're not going to be accurate, but we'll try and do it real quick. Where did they move cone shoots to? Oh, this is going to bother me. There we go. Surface attach. So Jesus Christ. Jesus. Why did that take so long? So we got some drogues. Belandris, don't DMA right now, because for whatever reason, this goes through my Discord. So KSP's getting there. God damn it. Don't do that. Sorry, yeah, it is disappointing, but they always take a while to get to that point. So it's not terribly crazy that it would take a minute. It's disappointing for sure, but it's not like unheard of because of the way they develop. So Let's do RCS. Oh. So I'm going to try and build it. Obviously, not everything is as perfect as it is, because this is a game. Let's go remote guidance. Let's get enough batteries. KSP, so they have a history of doing like half the program and then doing updates. They haven't been you haven't had to pay for updates, but they have been updates. So except for the 2 expansions. Hey Rabbit, what's up? So then on this we have a bigger engine, but we have a D&E fuel tank. And I'm gonna need a stacks up. Nope. I want a decoupler. Oh, EA has been terrible. Don't ever buy an EA product. There's my little guy. Okay, so that would be the Kerbal version of the capsule. So then we would go like this. Other adapter. So then we would have an adapter, but I gotta do a separator. Glitterfart has blocked like 90 of us tonight. Yeah, I know. I hope he's doing okay, but he seems pissed off at the world, but it shit happens sometimes. I get it. So then we have this long body. They have 4 RS-25s, so we got the 4 engines. And then they have 2 strap-on boosters. I know, strap-on giggity. So, separators, I believe they're in here. Shit. So that's kind of what Artemis looks like. Give or take. I don't know why they went like this, because it's really difficult. But it's part of NASA's charm, is making things very difficult. Oh, I forgot thruster blocks. All right. And we just need attachment ports. I don't know if that did that work. These are definitely the strongest metal poles in history. Close enough. So that's kind of what we have Artemis looking like. Here, we can make it orange. We can't make that one orange. So that's kind of what we got. It's actually a little bit taller here, but fuck it. We'll throw in another one. It's going to be really bottom heavy, though. So that's kind of what you got Artemis look like. Yes, it is an excuse for me to play with Chef. Stop fucking DMing me. And we'll put some of these because they make it easier. So look at staging 1, main, secondary. Shouldn't have too many staging problems. Main, secondary. Disconnects. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good enough for me. Okay, so now we're going to launch this bitch. So again, looks a lot like SLS or the Space Launch System. That's the secondary. Why are there two there? It doesn't matter. That's a shroud. Fuck it. We'll make it work. I'm not going to fly to the moon because that will take forever. I am so happy when I can play with my rocket. I'm also going to cheat like Cal. Oh. I forgot which one it is. So we'll try and fly it straight, but that's not going to happen. That would be your thrust. Turn RCS on. So we got some happy astronauts. Excuse. So I mean the concept works. If but I've seen a lot of yeah. I mean it's not all right, take care, Rabbit. I mean it's space travel. It's not easy, but you can mess things up. There it is. There's the moon. Like I said, we're going nowhere near that. We're just functioning the rocket. Guys, what the hell, man? Why are you not on stream? So now we're going to drop the boosters. And we're going to slowly throttle up. So now we drop those big SRBs, and it's just this. God damn it. I know, Xcomer. Here, we'll wait for sunlight for you. I like to launch it during the night because then it makes my errors look far less. There we go. Yeah, happy Comer. All right, there we go. All right, RCS, SAS. And that's about how the real one goes too. It rockets off the pad, like it jumps. Excuse, we'll bring it down. All right, we're getting there. See, Comer, it's still dark because we're in space. There's the sun. No, we're not there yet. Sit back in your seat. Oh, that's where it's going. And we want to bring the apoapsis down, way down, because we're going really high. Not technically, no. Come on down. Come on down. About 2.5 minutes is, and we're just starting to kind of get there, but I hope so. No, we're not going. We're not going to the. We're not going to the moon. I just said that. We're just making this an operational. So we're gonna bring up our orbital speed. We're just over the horizon, so we're falling continuously, but we're trying to pick up speed to go just over. See, and they have plenty to get to the moon because we still have a lot. But so I'm going to drop that. We're going to flip around, go retrograde, and we'll come back down. Is that why? So we're trying to get away from that booster. And now we're going to bring it back down. We'll burn, slow the craft down. Put it right back down here. I'm going to burn up that second core. So now all we have is these guys, the capsule, with our little astronauts. And that's basically what the moon, or what the Artemis program is going to do. But they're going to do a figure eight around the moon. In interest of time, I wasn't going to do the whole damn thing because that would be a while. We can actually pick it up a little bit. So now we're coming back in, and now we're hitting the atmosphere. So it gets really hot. And this is when you hear plasma blackout, because there's so much stuff building up on the outside that they can't hear you on the radio. So they won't. They're not even coming close. I'm not gonna crash. It would take a while to get to the moon, so I'm not gonna do all that. Yep. And we'll speed up time again. And I mean, actually, there would be drogues first, so that middle chute would fire first, and then the rest of them. But I just timed them all on one, just for the hell of it. And we're at 2,100 meters. And I could make my guy EVA right now and die, but that would be not funny. So cut that drogue, because it did its job. And yep, we're just speed it up because we're just falling slowly. $230. And touchdown. Now he can get out. And he can plant a flag. And I can put Landris. And it will say that on the flag forever. Take a surface sample. Yep, it looks like dirt. Over the visor. Remove the helmet. That's Kerbal. So. Well, that's why I turned it off. So yeah, that's a basic, just a quick version of what it looks like, how it's gonna fly. Of course, like I said, it will fly to the moon, but that would take time. It's gonna take it 10 days. So it takes some time for us to do that. I don't feel like doing it that long right now. So that brings us to the other more imminent and launch that I'm much more interested in, and that is the SpaceX Starship. So, and this will be the last one that we'll cover tonight. So that one is coming. Actually, I should say when Artemis 2 is coming up. That'd be cool. They just got named, so they're not even going to start training for well, they probably already started training. They probably already knew they were being named, but Artemis 2 is scheduled for November of 2024. So it's not going to be anytime soon. Anytime soon. 600,000 miles, thereabouts, round trip. That's how long the Artemis trip will be. But yeah, some are close to that for one way to the moon. I'm going to ignore you. Anyways, I'm going to ignore all you. Ignore all you. So November of 2024. So with delays and reruns, I think if we see it by February 25, I would be really, really excited about it. So, so yeah, that's one of them. Here is the one that is much more imminent. Should happen next week. I don't anticipate it will. I anticipate that it will happen the following week at the earliest, just based on the way that SpaceX does things. This is SpaceX Starship. He made it confusing because this ship is Starship, but the booster is also called Starship. So we'll watch this. This is a video from Elon himself. So you didn't put my music on it, dipshit. The chopsticks, yeah, that's what he calls them, the chopsticks. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Figured I'd watch the Starship bit. I am interested in that.
Oh, okay, Artemis?
I was watching.
Oh. Huh?
I just lurking mainly.
We can trust Elon because I've been there. I've seen it. with my own eyes. So, so here is how Starship is going to compare. Elon just said that it's going to be another 10 meters on the full stack Starship. So it's actually going to be a 129 meter Starship. And these are different buildings or different monuments. And the SLSB-1, which is the one we just talked about. So this is how much bigger it is than everything else. It is a massive piece of machinery. For this one, that's what I was just saying. SpaceX says on Monday. Elon says the following Monday. So I'm thinking probably April 20th. Because that's Elon. Like 420. That would be my guess if I had to put money on it.
That would be kind of hilarious, though, if he did do this thing on 420.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not going to go tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to watch it. Hell yeah. But there's no way in hell it's going to go tomorrow. So
it would just be even more icing on the cake if he launched that thing at 0620 hours. Or was it 069 hours?
Yeah. That would make it even more fun, but
yeah, or 0609, yeah.
Yeah. To give you some scale of size on this fucking thing, because we hear 119 meters, and we say, what the hell is a meter? What is the... We'll get into that. I'll talk about that. Remind me if I don't remember. But for size comparison, you see this little guy right here? This is I assume, an adult male human. And this is how big this fucking thing is. One, because we say how big are meters, and then we say, well, how many are 119 of them? But that's a person. And watch this. Jesus Christ.
That's a big rocket.
Oh, it's fucking huge. So
does NASA have rocket envy?
Oh, they hate SpaceX. Yes, it will. Sean, one of the advantages of it is it's a private company that Elon's doing it. The other advantage is, in my opinion, it's a superior vehicle. This is Starship, Eliza. This is Starship. So it's, well, one of those, SLS is a multi-billion-dollar project that is a single-use rocket. It goes up, it comes down, and burns up. Starship is a reusable launch vehicle, so it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. It's going to be, the way he's producing them is going to be quicker. They're less. So this bottom half is the tanker, basically. So this is the lift portion of it. So it's going to lift the Starship vehicle, which is this guy, to take payloads. So this can either take people or it can take other things. It can take fuel, it can take cargo. And this is one of the things that is really cool, is that so they can send one of these up. They can send the booster up. The booster can land. They can put another Starship on it, and this is their plan for getting to Mars. Put another Starship on it that is just fuel. The second, as soon as they stack the second Starship on top of it, the booster will go to space again, and then land again, and then this will refuel the original Starship. So it's one hell of an ambitious plan, but so this is what's going to carry humans or cargo, both to the moon and elsewhere. it's incredible. It is nothing short of incredible. But there are a lot of advantages to Starship. It's just different payloads, there's so many different advantages. Starship is the superior vehicle, and it doesn't have all the government bureaucracy and red tape. I think his last update was 130 tons, but I don't know because he's changing so much because it's about ready for an orbital flight. So Starship has flown. Let me see if I can. And a lot of them blown up. Starship.
That's the funny thing about rockets is, there's a lot of trial and error involved, especially when you're making one completely from scratch without any hand holding or anything like that. So the fact that he's had a few setbacks and a few bad tests, I mean, shit, look at what NASA went through in the 60s with the Mercury program.
Yeah, and NASA switched to a let's get it right first. SpaceX is fuck it, let's throw it up there and see what happens. This is a cool video. I hope I don't get screwed for this one, but we'll watch it. So this is the evolution of SpaceX's Starship with the explosions. So this is pretty much a supercut of everything. Yeah, NASA didn't have it easy. So
no.
So I mean, they paved the way for Elon to do what he did. So yeah. So Methalox. Yeah. Yep. RP1 is rocket grade kerosene and liquid oxygen. So payload. I didn't see Jude say anything. But anyways. Yeah, absolutely. So but they do get a lot of their funding from the federal government. So we'll watch this video and we'll comment. This is Starhopper. This is their first iteration to see if it was even viable. So just kind of watch. And this was 2019. So 4 years. 150 meter hop. So it went up 150 meters and came back down. Now Starship is still on Starbase, Texas. It is a firefighter. It is it holds water for firefighting. It is a communications relay, and really fucking cool. So this is Starhopper. Those are cold jets, so they're just... Anyways. So it bounced over to the landing pad. XCOMR, I generally use metric, but... Okay, so this is SN5. 150 meter hop. They tried to do the same flight profile, but with, I believe this one is still single engine. And that's that big square is just a heavy piece of metal. It's called a mass simulator. So when we were watching them before, Texas Tank Watchers, because it just looks like a big ass water tank. So that was SN5. There was some cryo testing, proof testing, crush testing, and 5 was the first one. So they thought they had it easy. 6 wasn't as oh yeah, the old quote is a million things can go wrong and only one way it can go right. So
yep.
Did 6 crash? I thought 6 crashed. Maybe I could be wrong, though. Reusable is an absolute game changer. And there's some new game changers coming down the pike that don't use chemical propulsion.
That's kind of a cool idea, is what I've been hearing, these possible uses for non-chemical propulsion.
Yeah, well, it's inefficient. It really is.
Right, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. I mean, the first car was not efficient, but look at where they are now.
This is SN8. I was here for SN8. Yes, I was here for SN8. So first engine cutoff, and then they do this flip turn maneuver, which I still haven't figured it out why the hell they do that. But so it's a glide down. Like I get the thought behind it, but so they cut off all 3 engines. It makes this little flip, and then it acts like an aircraft almost, where it flies. Why do it? Because they fucking can. I know, but it's inefficient. I hate the flip burn. The flip and turn. I hate it. I hate the damn thing. Oh, and that's what I'm saying, Sean. I know why they do it. I know why they're doing it. For guidance, so they don't have to. Anyways. But I don't like it. I cannot like it, even though it's specific. And the flip, and they overcompensated, and that bitch blew up. You can see it eating itself, burning up copper. You can see the frames change. You see it? And boom.
I mean, all told,
Build
though.
custom industrial machine.
I think it's only 4. So not bad. SA9 also exploded. This one was far more spectacular and far further off.
What? Something
like
just
this
happened.
one, they really fucked up.
Something just happened.
What just happened? Oh shit! Did YouTube go down?
No, I've got YouTube up on my other screen. I don't know what happened there.
That's weird.
Hang on. Trying to fix it and nothing's happening. There. Okay, that's weird.
That's not good.
Okay. I don't know what happened there, but that was weird.
Guys are quick buttons.
I was literally trying to scroll over to click something else, so I don't know if I must have hit something.
Oh, no worries. We got it back. SN9 also exploded. I believe this one was more spectacular in the explosion.
Minutes, we are heading off to the LOX tank. We're beginning to flip to horizontal. In the white cloud, the plume you were seeing was intentional. There is a liquid oxygen dump. We've now transitioned to horizontal and beginning the subsonic.
I also blame
portion of the
Africa.
flight, where we check out the aft and the forward flaps to hold the vehicle's stability as we descend back to the landing pad.
God, it's so fucking beautiful. I want one.
We're down beneath 1.5 kilometers.
Elon won't give me one.
Restart, 2 engines, flip the vehicle vertical.
Ozzy's not even here.
1 engine for the landing burn.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, shit.
Boom.
But we can still blame Ozzy. 10 blew up. Well, these are just giant ass things of volatile fuel and liquid oxygen. So and there's the flip. So they were having a lot of time pressurizing the header tanks to relight the engines. So when they were doing it, it would sloosh, and it wouldn't. There wouldn't be enough fuel, enough pressure in the lines to. So you didn't get the propulsion necessary. See, that one burned out because it didn't have enough. This one touched down, but then it blew up. So you'll see it leaning. They didn't get it right. They didn't slow it down enough. It crushed, and it fell over and blew up. Oh, they didn't show it. I don't remember 11. This might have been the one that they got. Oh, no. Lost telemetry and exploded.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly. That's a good way to put it.
Yep. That's how Elon says explosion. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. I said 15. Well, I try to cover the launch live. If I can at all help it, yes, I will. I will be out of town tomorrow, so I will be unable to if they actually do it tomorrow. But any day but that, I would be happy to. So.
All 3 Raptor engines continuing to burn. Next major event.
Yeah, Comer. If it's not tomorrow, I certainly will. But I had a prior engagement for tomorrow, so.
Just past T plus 4 minutes in the flight.
There's the flip.
We got views back from the Raptor engines.
This one sucks so bad. It was so damn cloudy, you couldn't see shit.
T plus 4 minutes 34 seconds. While we're working to regain video, looks like we've got a shot looking back at the flaps.
Aerodynamics.
We're in the horizontal descent phase now. We're passing 6 kilometers. A reminder, phase that's coming up as we get ready for landing. We will light 3 Raptor engines, flip the vehicle from horizontal to vertical.
Yeah, it depends who you listen to. The launch window actually opens tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. So.
We have ignition.
That's true. Very true. Oh, the scream of a raptor just oh.
I'm gonna come.
That's true. And we had to wait so long for the dust clear. It was annoying. But yeah, that one landed right on the corner. Slightly on fire.
Starbase flight control has confirmed, as you can see on the live video, we are down. The Starship has landed. We're going through the safing sequence in the flight computer right now. We'll be back in a moment.
And we seriously sat here until when I was watching it, because I was watching it live through SpaceX. And we were just waiting for them to call all clear, and then they cut the feed, and we're like, "Oh shit! It blew up again." And it didn't. It was good. So that's the first half of the first third of Starship. The Super Heavy, so he called the ship Starship, and he called the whole assembly Starship. So the Super Heavy Starship will be, so that Starship will be stacked on the Super Heavy booster. Then they're going to shoot the whole thing into space. That is going to go orbital. It's going to come back around and land in the ocean. Because they're not Jeff Bezos. Falcon 9 kind of does look like it does look like a penis. Have you seen a Falcon 9? Here's just I don't know what the hell this is. Random Starlink, maybe. So it has a big mushroom tip.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And this is significantly smaller than the Starship. So that's their tested Falcon 9. Sorry. This is SpaceX's Twitter. A lot of fun. Go follow. So that again, just so we have some kind of point of reference, that was the top portion of the Starship that we were watching fly. Yeah, we can. No. Fuck you, we do. I do. A lot of people I know do. Like Sean.
I'm not one of them.
He has a small BB, that's why. So anyways. Love you, Kaiser.
It's okay.
So this portion right here is the part that we saw fly. The rest of this is super heavy. This is the heavy lift. No. So this is what's going to lift Starship into orbit. This top part is going to orbit. This is going to come back down, and it's going to be caught by these big steel chopsticks. It's going to be impressive. We haven't seen the booster fire yet, or fly yet, I should say. We have seen it fire. Starship. And we've never seen anything like it, so I can't build this one in Kerbal because they couldn't even imagine that it was. The heavy lift is reusable. It's immediately reusable. Yes.
Probably that right there is probably the most incredible part of this whole endeavor, is having a heavy lift rocket that can just instantly turn around, refuel, and go back up in theory.
Immediately. Like it can, the chopstick set it down on the platform, and it can lift another ship up. The first one they're going to dump into the ocean for safety.
Right.
But they'll save the booster. So yes. The Falcon Heavy is their current heavy lift. This thing makes the Falcon Heavy look like a bottle rocket. So here is a static fire of all 33 engines on the bottom of this. So, yeah. Land, refuel, launch, catch up with it again, and dock. So, that's the main idea. Oh, where's the T-minus timer going? Oh, it's right there. So here, watch. So they're filling it with cryo fuel. You can see the cryo going up the rocket. It's gonna be loud, just so you know. Headphone users. Shit, I put it in the same fucking spot. T-minus 36. So you'll see the ice rinks go up, and that's how far it's going to be fueled. So this is just a firing of all of the engines, all 33 engines. So it's impeded by a lot of dirt, obviously, but it was spectacular. And I believe they have 31. What's up, Composer? 31 successful, which is more than enough to get that big heavy bitch into space. So everybody says, why do they have so much dust when you don't see them in things like Artemis? And SpaceX is intentionally doing that. Probably knock out a whale. I don't know how I feel about that. There's no whale going to be close to this big screaming bastard. Like, it's going to be hot and it's going to be screaming. Like, but anyway, SpaceX intentionally engineered and manufactured them with the dust in mind, because when we get to the moon, we're not going to have launch pads, or when we get to Mars, we're not going to immediately have launch pads. So I think they're going to show it one more time, but I'm not sure. It's a terrible cut, SpaceX. What the fuck are you doing to me? But, and this is the tank farm that holds all the gases and recondenses them and all that. So yeah, that's coming up. I will try my damnedest to cover that one. That one's going to be, it's a experimental flight. It's going to be oh shit, it's going, and I flip one up real quick. It's not going to be like, oh, here's a bunch of warning, because it'll just be, I mean, it could be hours and hours and hours. So if I hear good data that that there's a launch attempt, I will certainly cover it. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, because I'm out of town. But that's basically it for my coming up in space. Kaiser, did you have anything to add, buddy?
No, not tonight, really, man. I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, NASA could just be running people. Well, SpaceX is actually, their lunar starship is, hang on, I'll show you. If I can find a goddamn thing. Their lunar spaceship is their lunar starship is going to be human rated. So, yeah.
That's the goal, anyway.
Where in the fuck did I put it? Because I know that I had it at one point. Those are boobs. Those are also boobs, so it's not there. Hang on. Where'd it be? Where is it, Kaiser?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, where is it?
Where's what?
It.
Shit, dude, I have no idea. I was dozing off, literally, like, as you were talking.
Oh. That's not good. Are you tired?
I'm a lot of things right now, but I'm not going to bring down the podcast. I'm not going to bring down the stream.
Okay. Yeah, don't do that. Fuck me. I can't find a goddamn thing. Anyways, I'll post them maybe later because I don't want everybody just to have to. It might be. No, why would it be in there? See, I say that, and then I'm still fucking. Yeah, I don't know where the hell it would be, but I have a picture of the lunar starship too that I took. So, but yeah, just some things to look out for. I love space travel, and we'll get more into it as we get closer. Yeah, that's it. So you learned stuff tonight. Cool, good deal, Sean.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's all I got for you tonight. Or a little bit over 2 hours, so we're gonna probably cut it off there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks Kaiser for joining me, buddy.
Always.
Yeah, and I don't know what we have in store for tomorrow, but I'll let you know.
So far as I know, we're still gonna do episode 2 of the palate cleanser tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want to put you on the spot with that. So,
yeah, the plan was to go ahead and still do episode 2 tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. Yeah, works for me. So
okay.
And like I said, watch your favorite source for information, Discord, Twitter, and YouTube itself. It will be one of those places if there is a launch attempt and if I am going to be able to cover it. So, all right, y'all. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye-bye.